Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Myra Marquez. I serve as the convener for UC Office of the President, and I'm a proud UC Santa Barbara alumna. It is my pleasure to bring you all an amazing panel on how to be a supplier for UC. And so this program is part of a UC-wide effort to unite and support all alumni across the 10 campuses. We aim to provide information, insights, and connections necessary for y'all to launch, grow, and expand your career. Through today's session, you'll have an opportunity to learn from our phenomenal speakers. You'll also have an opportunity to ask questions via the chat box at the bottom of your screen. We'll try to answer as many as we can, but know that in a limited 60 minutes, and that'll be impossible. But again, we'll try our best. And so I am excited to introduce you to Abin, who is joining us from UC Office of the President in Oakland. So I'll turn it over to him to take the lead. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mara. So good afternoon, everyone. As Mara mentioned, my name is Abim Odusoga. I'm the Impact Policy and Compliance Director at the University of California, Office of the President. I'm also very, very pleased and excited to be joined by Dr. Janice Green of the Women's Business Enterprise Council, as well as Donna Ruff from the Western Regional Minority Supply Development Council. Thank you, Donna and Dr. Green, for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Frank, for that.
Excellent. So who are we? Who is the UC? So as you know, the UC is a world-class public university system with a leading reputation for research and education. But we stem a little bit further than just the campuses. So you may be aware we have 10 campuses, 10 locations. But in addition to that, we also have 6 academic health centers. These centers include learning facilities as well as hospitals as well. And we also include 3 national laboratories. So there's a lot of work that's being done here at the UC. Specifically regarding our campuses, we have approximately 295,000 students, 25,000 faculty, and 170,000 staff. And we have over 2 million living alumni amongst us today. So it's a lot of people who work and partner and have learned from the UC system. In addition to that, regarding our healthcare system, we have, as you can see, 8.14 million outpatient visits from every corner of the state. 68% of UC-trained health students build their professional careers in California. And also, we've done 4,700 clinical trials across 2,300 conditions, which have led to breakthrough discoveries. A little bit more about our healthcare system. We also have 5 NCI designated comprehensive cancer centers. So we are definitely entrenched into the healthcare system. So as you can tell by those pure numbers, we need a lot of services. We need a lot of supplies. There's a lot of business that takes place to ensure that we can provide the high quality education and healthcare services that the UC provides. Here are some of the different categories in which we procure. So we have professional services, approximately $3.4 billion per year, by the way. Facilities and MRO. MRO stands for maintenance, repairs, and operations. That's approximately $2.5 billion. $1.2 billion for life sciences, so your medical supplies, your equipment. IT and telecom is approximately $500 million, and travel is approximately $100 million. So there's a lot of business taking place. We literally procure everything from construction supplies to medical equipment, and even some stuff that you definitely can't get on the open market to do leading research. So as an organization, we procure a lot, and that totals to approximately $10 billion a year. So our vision statement. So the vision is to connect the power of the entire UC system to deliver innovative supply chain solutions in support of teaching, research, and public service. And this spans over 5 different areas. We want to manage risk. We want to increase efficiency. We want to drive savings and value delivery. We want to grow partnerships. But the area that I want to focus mostly on today is economic and social responsibility. Within this section, we have a goal of procuring 25% of our total spend with small and diverse businesses to reflect the diversity of our state. We also have a responsibility to ensure that what we procure is beneficial or does very little harm or damage to our planet. And so we try to incorporate sustainability goals into our procurement practices as well. This is our values. This is what we believe in as a UC system, and we try to adhere to that. In addition, due to Prop 209, consideration of demographics cannot be used for making a determination. However, we do have a specific goal, as I mentioned, of trying to reach 25%. And these Prop 209 provisions does not exclude us from conducting outreach, from partnering with different organizations, and to also spread the word about the work that we're doing here at UC. So here are some of the key initiatives that we're conducting here to support our supply diversity initiatives. So Small Business First is a program that can help expedite business with small businesses. As long as the dollar amount is less than $250,000, there may be opportunities to fast track the procurement process. Spend analysis and 3-year sourcing calendar. We're trying to develop a calendar so that we can identify what our needs will be 3 years in advance, help us to do partnerships, help us to do targeted outreach so that we can try and increase the pool of suppliers in our RFP pool. Accelerated certification drives. So one of our goals is to try and get as many of our suppliers certified as possible as a small business, or if we have a diversity-owned business, to increase certifications in that area as well. Access to capital is very, very important to us. It was flagged as a vulnerability, and so we spend a lot of time trying to address this area. We do this by trying to focus on supply chain financing, and even in some cases, some investment opportunity in partnership, some investment opportunities to try and support different businesses. We're partnering with the X Prize, and I'll provide a link for everyone to take a look at. And we have a challenge in partnership with Google and a couple of other major companies to try and solve the supply diversity challenge. There will be a prize that will be available to those who participate and can solve the diversity challenge. And it's a pretty exciting thing that we're looking at. We're hopefully looking for some new innovative ideas that come out of the X Prize challenge. We're also partnering with anchor institutions as well as being strategic with certifying agencies. So why work with the UC? Why work with UC alumni? Well, I believe it's our duty to support those who have come from within our system. Everyone here, for the most part, is a UC alumni. It makes sense for us to want to support you in your business endeavors to try and help you grow. And hopefully, if successful, you can be a supplier for the UC system. In addition to that, as you know, the UC is a very prestigious school system. The UC alumni are highly talented. You're also very highly representative of, or you're representative of the state in which we work and live. Also, we're very there's a lot of ingenuity that's coming out of UC alumni. I believe there was a statistic that states that approximately 5 inventions per day are coming out of the UC system, and over 1,500 startups have been created from UC intellectual property. So that's pretty cool. Some other stats that I want to also run down, which also supports our courses as well. 37% of UC graduates are first-generation college students. 45% come from low-income families. We have a wider range of degrees that are offered, as you already know. And in 2023, I believe 44% of historically underrepresented minorities were graduates from the UC system. So not only are we supporting you as alumni, we're also doing our best to support communities in which we live and work. So inside the UC procurement process, so I know a lot of people have different ideas about how this works. It's not people sitting around the boardroom drinking wine, promising different things. We are focused on community impact. That is extremely important for us. We also conduct RFPs. We are very public and we're transparent in what we do. So we make these RFPs available to the wide audience as possible. Unfortunately, because we are quasi-public or public institution, our processes can be a little bit slow and bureaucratic. But this is the cost that it takes for us to ensure that we have fair practices. Key information for you to note are buying cycles often occur in 3 to 5 year cycles. So I'm going to show you our procurement portal a little bit later on. But if there is business that you're interested in, it may be also in your best interest to look at what business has been awarded before and when that contract may be ending. We do have insurance requirements. We do also require an onboarding process. And last but not least, but most important, we also track small, diverse, and very veteran-owned business certifications as well. This is very important for us. We want to make sure that we're meeting those goals or trying to reach those goals. And understanding who we're serving is also very important to us. So how to do business with UC. So I have 4 major points and I want to dig deeper into them. So number 1, understand what UC buys. So it's great when people have different ideas about, I have this company and I'm doing X, Y, Z. But the best way to do business with UC is to know exactly what we're looking for. And I'm going to show you a little website a little bit later on that should hopefully help you out. Ensure that you can meet the UC requirements. So please pay attention to the RFP and the details that are included within that document. Get certified. Very, very, very important. And then connect with campus procurement teams. So the first step, understand what we buy. Add a little QR code. Feel free to scan the QR code. It will take you to our CalUSource public bidding site. And this is where you can find all kinds of information about different RFPs that are out right now currently, as well as finding information about RFPs that have already taken place in the past. Remember, as I mentioned a few moments ago, in order to know what is coming up, sometimes it's good to see what we've already awarded business to and come up with a strategy surrounding that. So CalUSource is a very valuable tool. I implore you to not only visit the site, but to register. You should be able to receive notifications about different RFPs in the areas that you have interest in. Also, to ensure that you're meeting UC requirements, we also have a UC procurement portal, another QR code here. This slide and presentation will be available later, so you can always come back and visit. But here we have our UC website, and it gives you all kinds of information about how to do business. So how to become a UC supplier, public accountability, some of our sustainable procurement information, and some information as a small and diverse business. So get certified. So There's several ways to get certified, but these are some of my favorites. As small business, I really push for you to partner with the state of California. They have a small business certification, as well as on the federal government side, they also have a small business certification as well. They have different programs. But for diversity certifications, we really encourage you to work with Disability In for disability inclusion business enterprises, NAVOBA for veteran-owned business enterprises, NGLCC for LGBT business enterprises, NMSDC for minority business enterprises. And we have Donna Ruff, who's going to be speaking about her organization shortly. And WBENC, the Women's Business Enterprise. And we also have Dr. Green, who will be speaking about her organization very shortly too. These organizations are also a great plethora of, or can provide a great plethora of information for you to do business, to grow your business, to scale your business. These are some amazing partners that we have, and I highly recommend reaching out to them. Last but not least, we have a procurement, a connection portal that I created with my team. If you scan the QR code and then you enter information about your business, what I can now do is, if there is an opportunity that comes up, I may be able to scan through the list of suppliers that we have that comes from this list, and I may be able to connect you to the different campus representatives as they come up. So this is very important for me and my team. Please feel free to use it, and hopefully we can do some business. So next up, to go deeper into how to work with the Western Regional Minority Supply Development Council, I have Donna Ruff, and she is the current president. Donna, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, again, I'm Donna Ruff, President and CEO for the Western Regional Minority Supplier Development Council, or WRMSDC. We are one of 23 regional councils across the nation. Our footprint covers California, Nevada, and Hawaii. Nationally, the council connects with over 12,000 minority businesses and more than 400 national corporate members. The members span across America's largest publicly owned, privately owned, foreign-owned companies, as well as universities, hospitals, and other buying institutions. I really appreciate your time to be able to speak about this immense topic of importance. Certification for minority-owned businesses, they play a very vital role in fostering economic growth. And it's not just a formality. It's a gateway to, a world of opportunities. It affirms value and potential of minority-owned businesses who are essentially the life force of the communities we live and serve. And I encourage all minority-owned businesses to explore the benefits of certification, engaging with the council, and taking full advantage of some resources that we have available. Certification obtained through WRMSDC is not just a local credential, it's actually a national certification, and it's valid throughout the United States. Certification opens up doors for minority-owned businesses, providing them access to very critical resources, networking opportunities, and the ability to participate in exclusive events. A certified MBE is one that is at least 51% minority-owned, operated, managed, and controlled. And again, there's so many benefits that are included with access to new business networks, expanded relationships, educational and development opportunities that most often are free to those businesses, and then resources to capital. In addition to that, the recognized spend counts towards the $1 Billion Roundtable, which is a much larger organization that looks at diverse spend throughout the nation. Our certification process is one that, it meets the highest of standards in our, we prepare our businesses to engage with top tier corporate partners. Although certification may not guarantee actual contracts, there are some things to consider that many corporations will not do business with diverse businesses without this accreditation from an organization like mine or like what Dr. Green will be able to describe in her organization. but it does definitely open up the doors and remove some of those hurdles. With my organization, I want to make sure that I also mention that we have a few different levels of affiliation with the council. Certified business undergo a very, very thorough vetting process. We also have our registered and listed MBEs, which are typically your business to consumer or your B2B companies. And they also are able to benefit from very significant opportunities. The listed and registered MBEs, they participate in a more limited reviewing process over the certified MBEs. And they also have access to our council events, our communication and networking. You know, regionally, we are designed to support all of our certified MBEs, and it doesn't require any additional subscription. However, those that operate in other geographical areas, there are subscription services with our sister affiliate councils that may be beneficial in enhancing your impact. And although my staff may be, hosting events or in meetings, we definitely provide very comprehensive certification information, training classes, and information on our website should you have any further questions. And I'm always happy to take questions, and you can reach out to me directly. I believe Abim and Myra will be sharing my information after the presentation today. And back, Abim.
Excellent. Thank you, Donna. And one clarification on what I had mentioned earlier today. I listed the national organizations, but the bread and butter is really here on the regional and localized level. Donna, being the president and CEO of WRMSDC, is a great resource. And same thing with Dr. Green from WeBEC Pacific. So I did want to clarify myself and really make an emphasis for their organizations and what they're able to do and provide for you as potential suppliers. So next up, we have Dr. Green from WeBEC Pacific. Dr. Green, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Donna. Donna and I have I would say that our organizations are really closely related, because what she does for the minority business enterprises, we do for the women business enterprises. So we're also a certification agency. I cover Alaska, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Northern California. And there are 14 RPOs that cover the nation. 14 that cover the nation. There are about 20,000 women businesses, a little over 20,000 women businesses that are certified through WeBank. Within our organization, we have a little bit over 1,200 that are currently certified with WeBank Pacific. Like Abim said, a lot of the work goes on with the local councils. So we are basically the boots on the ground, the people that you'll see in your area. I would like to share that we also have a very strenuous certification process. You have to be women-owned, 51% owned, operate, and controlled. It is strenuous, but by the time you go through our certification, I think the same with the NMSDC certification, you can be pretty well guaranteed that that company meets all the qualifications. Our women businesses, I think we're about at $10 billion and over $10 billion, almost $11 billion in revenue in our region. And we have about 34% of them are women of color. So we have a nice balance in that area too. And we create jobs, over 36,000 jobs that we create. And so we do look strongly at what kind of economic impact we're having in the communities that we serve. The one thing that I did notice over the last couple of years is that the number of WBEs that we have is going up. So we've almost doubled over the last 7 or 8 years. So people see that there's a real benefit in being a certified women business. But the years in service, or years that people have been in business, is going down. So with that, we see that there are more new entrants into our WBE certification. We do break down our industries. I've talked to them a little bit about that because we have a lot of different industries that we serve and they go across the board. The biggest is professional, scientific, and technical, but we also have quite a bit going on in construction right now. Big increase in construction, which has normally not been a field where you find a lot of businesses, and manufacturing. So we see big increases going in across the board in different fields. Northern California for us is our biggest market. About 60%, between 55 and 60% of the WBEs are in Northern California. The next, and then Puget Sound area, excuse me, the Northwest with Oregon and Washington second. We have not as many in Alaska, Idaho, and Montana, but we are growing those markets as well. I think Donna touched on some of the access benefits that we have because you have access to corporations. We all do education and training. We do share information across with the minority councils and WEBEC and NGLCC and all of the organizations that have been listed because we're all going the same way, trying to do the same thing and provide opportunities for companies and making sure that that social impact happens in our neighborhoods. So the support that you get, there's industry, we do industry info sessions, like we'll do construction info sessions. We'll do events with our corporate members where they come in and they will talk about how to do business with the individual corporate members. And then we have several events that we have throughout the year. Some of them like helping people understand how to complete their RFPs, with how to hone their pitches. We do just workshops on some of the basics that folks need, but we also give the opportunity to network with our corporate agent and agency members. I will say that we do some signature event. We have ideation, thanks to the University of California Systems. Will be hosting us in Berkeley. It's next week now, so on the 25th. The time goes by, but so they'll be hosting ideation, and then we have bold success and business excellence. Those are our signature events. The good thing for us is that we now have a platform, and on that platform we can host smaller events. People can upload their capability statements, they can upload videos, and our corporate members can also get in and see that information, and they can share that information across with each other, because we are really encouraging our women business enterprises to do business with other women business enterprises and minority businesses, because that is a wonderful market. I think it's a very big market and does support what we do. I don't think there's too much different. I think Donna covered a big, but like I said, we're very similar in the way that we approach as far as certification, education, and opportunities for networks. And like she said, and what we always tell people, it does not guarantee you that you're going to get a contract because you're certified, but what it does do is open doors for you so that you can have access to decision makers and review procurement opportunities. It just gives you that bit of an edge. And generally, I always say when our WBEs are able to compete, they do quite well. So it's about being able to compete and making sure that you have access and can be on those RFPs. So I thank you. And Bim, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Green. And you both are so amazing. It's been an absolute joy and pleasure getting to know you both and working with you and learning and helping to support our UC system. I truly appreciate you both. You're definitely trailblazers in this field. So thank you for everything you do and will continue to do. I know Dr. Green had mentioned the ideation event that's taking place next week. I want to make sure you both have the opportunity to plug any events that you may have in the horizon before we get to question and answer. So Dr. Green, do you want to plug ideation again?
Ideation is a signature event for us. We will be looking at AI, how to use AI in your business, and we have a hands-on workshop, so you should be able to walk out with your own instance of how to use AI for your business or your personal use. I think that's the biggest part of it. I think, we're going to talk about X Prize. And then we have women businesses that are going to present and actually show how they're using AI and other technology, not just AI, but other technologies in their business. And I think it's going to be a great event because it's one of those things that we're going to leave with the actual hands-on and ability to use the tools that we're sharing.
I think you said my name, right?
Yes. Yes.
So for WRMST, we also have quite a few events going on. As a matter of fact, today we have our in our Reno market, we actually have a business mixer with quite a few of our corporate members, and we host those events throughout the year. We additionally have our expo coming up in August, and that's going to be held right after the BDR on August the 23rd. We also monthly have, excuse me, our MBE-led events, which are industry days where we are able to participate with corporate sponsors, and MBEs are able to present their companies and pitch and also learn about how to work with some of these other corporations. We also have open houses where MBEs are able to network with other MBEs, and many oftentimes our corporate members, including those on our board, actually go and attend those events as well. So we do like to create areas of where we can have the most intimate of settings, and you can also, honestly have some really, really good opportunities to participate. I'm always so excited to participate in Dr. Green's events. I unfortunately am going to miss ideation, which is going to be so hard to want to miss, because I think that is going to be one of the best events of the year. So I'm super excited for her, and I do hope that you guys get an opportunity to attend. If there's any question, come as my guest as to any one of my events. I'm happy to have you.
Thank you. And I think you could probably find our events on our website if you want to take a look. I refer you to the website and maybe that QR code that's behind me.
Thank you. Thank you both. So we are ready for Q&A. Myra?
Wonderful work, everybody. Thank you. The first question that I have came in from somebody who says they own a fruit juice beverage company. So they're asking, is food and beverage part of this procurement process?
Absolutely. Food and beverages, we have to feed our students, our staff. It's a major part of our procurement process. We do have some specific rules that we have to follow. So we have something called covered services. So it's certain types of job classifications that may have union involvement. We may have to use the unions for, but in terms of like procuring the different foods and drinks, as I thought I heard, definitely, absolutely. We take all kinds of food and beverage. So.
Thank you. And the next question I have is, does a software development company fall into professional services or IT or telecom? It sounds like somebody just has a question about what area maybe their services fall into.
That's a great question. One of the call outs from the slide is to look at what we're looking to procure. And so depending on the need, it may, the type of services that you're offering may fall within an array of categories, right? So yeah, it really depends on the RFP that's put out there, but I can definitely see that line of work falling under IT and services, and in some cases, professional services as well. So I strongly advise you to take a look at CalUSource and see if there's any opportunities out there that meet your requirements.
Thank you. Let's see. Another question that came in, is procurement for UC limited to companies that are only based in California or only based in the US? If somebody has a company outside of the US, is it something they're eligible for?
That is a great question. Are we limited to California only? Absolutely not. If you're not based in California, I strongly advise you. If you're a minority owned business, I encourage you to link up with our partners that I mentioned. They have regional partnerships all across the so not partnerships. They have regional branches across the nation, and so someone should be able to help you. If you're just a small business, that also works as well. I strongly advise you to look at whatever state certification is available in the state that you operate in. And yeah, whatever, and also look at some of the federal small business certifications that are out there. So yes, there are opportunities. Outside of the country depends. That one's a little bit more difficult. So it depends on the opportunity and the need. But definitely, if you're from another state, there's definitely opportunities to do business with BUC.
Thank you. And this can also be a question for both of our panelists, Donna and Dr. Janice. Do your services, are they only for people living in the Western region, or who is able to access your services?
So for Western region, I'm happy to connect you with the affiliate region wherever you live. We actually can, help you in understanding what that process is, and then get you right over to that that location to help you with certification.
Yeah, so WeBank certification. If you are WeBank certified, you are welcome to join any of our events across the country. So I don't know if we mentioned it, but both NMSDC and WeBank certification are national certifications, so they are across the nation. And the other thing that we have for those that do international business, WeBank has an affiliation with WeConnect International, and those certifications are also reciprocal, and that's international.
And internationally, NMSDC has relationships with Canada and in England.
Thank you.
The other thing is that you will have to, you will certify in the region that you're in, but your certification is national.
Exactly. It's the same here.
Thank you. Let's see. Someone has a question about event rentals, photo booth rentals. Is this something that they should be looking into getting registered to work with UC as a supplier?
I strongly advise you to get registered. I can't tell you that right now there's a specific need, but you never know. We're not. It's the UC system is really remarkable. We're like a network of different cities, and there's all kinds of events that go on all the time. And so, if you do own that type of a business, I definitely recommend that you get certified, because the first place that we may look will be to the certified businesses that provide that service as a good starting point. I also strongly advise that you connect with people on the ground. So if you have a connection with a local department within the UC system, I strongly advise that you connect with them.
Thank you.
Donna, Janice, do you have anything to add to that question?
I think what you're saying in general is with most corporations and agencies, you should register with those companies if you're interested in doing business with them, because the first thing they're going to ask you is, have you registered in their portal? So when you get the opportunity, if you're looking at a specific company that you want to do business with, I'd recommend that you register in their portal.
Great information. Thank you. So all of you are now understanding. First step is to get registered, regardless of whether you feel like your business is really small or in the process of growing. More opportunities are going to be available if you're on the database or reaching out to our regional experts, again, to get this extra certification. and make you more competitive when you're called. Again, this doesn't guarantee that you will be doing business with UC, but it puts a more competitive edge on your portfolio and the work that you're presenting for UC. Let's see, another question that came in. Somebody says that they are a renewable energy company that has some solar energy that they offer, like panels for installation, and they want to know if UC being a supplier, if this is a space for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as part of our EASR goals, as I mentioned, diversity is part of it, and then environmental sustainability is also part of it. I'm fortunate that that is also part of my vertical as well. And we're looking to we're looking to be a carbon-free campus very shortly. And so that will require us to take advantage of solar technology and other renewable forms of technology that are at our disposal. So absolutely. Part of our procurement guides, our internal procurement guides, is to also look for opportunities to increase our environmental sustainability. In addition to that, we have a capital markets group, and they deal with all the construction system wide. And so it may be a good interest of you to connect with those folks, and I can try and find the information and put it in the chat. But yes, we're definitely looking for companies who, are able to provide a photovoltaic cells for any types of construction that we build.
Thank you. And this next question is for Janice and Donna. Somebody's asking, are there scholarship opportunities for the feed? I know that's not something that was covered, but I'm sure there is potentially a cost associated with getting certified. So scholarships, is that something that y'all are aware of?
Yes, there are a few scholarships that I know of that actually support the council for certifying businesses, and happy to share that information as those businesses need them.
Agreed. The same here. I'm aware of a few.
Wonderful. So y'all know these questions, you're going to reach out to the experts and ask them. We did put their email addresses and websites in the chat box. So that would be step one in potentially accessing resources, but definitely in accessing this wonderful information. So next question I have is about library services. Or there's a lot of questions coming in about, does this count? Does this count? I guess I'm more general, like, what does not count? There's questions in here about if I have library services, food services, renewable energy services, IT services. So it sounds like, yes, you see, we're like our own small little communities, towns. Some UCs are larger than some towns in the US. So sounds like we do need everything, but what would we not need? Instead of going through and saying, do we need this? Just give us a few ideas of like, what would generally people not go into? Or is there already on the website that we haven't had a chance to visit yet, a list of easy yes or no's that we can share with our audience today?
So I'm definitely summarizing, but for the most part, like you said, everything is in play. So anything that a city would procure, we will procure as a system. The only thing that, for the most part, I can say is not covered is the whole covered services component. So where we have staff who are unionized, that area we probably don't need, we can't actually procure in those areas. So that's mainly like, and again, this is definitely a generalization, but janitorial type services are definitely covered services. But if you have like a very specialized niche field within that space, that may not be covered by the union agreement. So it's a case-by-case scenario. But for the most part, the one that definitely sticks to my mind is janitorial services and anything that may be covered under a union. However, and I'm sure I'll pass it to Dr. Green and Donna. I know for a fact that other organizations are looking for those types of services all the time. And they typically look at these certifying bodies to try and find folks. Donna, Dr. Janice, do you want to expand on that?
I guess I would say that most corporations, especially the larger ones, are like small cities as well. They buy everything, if they from dog food, because they sometimes have security dogs. They buy just about everything. So um, there are some requirements. I think you saw them earlier put up like a list of requirements for UC systems. So those requirements, but a lot of those companies will have requirements for insurance and those type of things. So if you meet the requirements for what they're going to buy, I'd say make sure you register in their portal as well.
I agree with that. I mean, gosh, maybe a little more specifically, a lot of your energy companies just, here in California, they purchase a lot of those services and have opportunities all the time. They are also regulated by the CPUC, so they require supplier diversity spend. And so there's another opportunity there. Certifying inside of the supplier clearinghouse, there's also reciprocity with both Janice's and Dr. Green's and my organization. So there's some really good cross-referencing that can happen with many of the organizations that support our individual organizations as well.
Thank you both.
I will say there are some things, I guess they call them lifestyle business, that may not, be certified, I would say, because if it's a beauty shop in, downtown Oakland or something like that, that would likely not be certified. But in general, most businesses can be certified.
I will say, agree with that. I agree with that completely. There may be an option for businesses that are typically B2C that can be actually B2B, which is what we typically certify. So a beauty shop, for instance, in an MGM resort actually could be certified. Mm-hmm. However, one that actually services direct to consumer is not likely certifiable with our organizations.
Yeah, or organizations, say a Jean Juarez, something like that, where that would be, but there are just little stipulations where it may not be worth the while of the company to be certified. They just need to look into it.
Thank you. Great insight. So again, sounds like everything that a small city would need, a lot of businesses and specifically UC will need. And if you're like in the lifestyle category, there could still be opportunities there. You never know until you ask. So though we have a general sense of what may not be certified, there are always sort of exceptions or niches or nuances. So never hesitate to check in and ask further. Now, this next question is for Dr. Janice and for Donna. The question is about maintaining the certification. So after a small business or a business go through the certification process with each of your different companies, what do they have to do to maintain it? What are some of those maybe annual fees that are associated with it? And Dr. Janice, go ahead and kick us off.
So our fees are relatively the same. I think we go from $350 to $1,200 is the most. One thing I think we didn't mention is both of our organizations, we do not have revenue caps or ceilings. So you can be billion-dollar businesses and still be certified through us. I will say also with WBENC, we also offer the Women-Owned Small Business, which is a federal certification, because we're a third-party certifier for the government. So to maintain the certification, we renew annually for us. We do review all your paperwork because things do change in a year, and so you still have to maintain that you're women-owned, operated, controlled, and managed. And we review the paperwork and update it, but it's a yearly certification. But I believe the Women-Owned Small Business may be moving to a 3-year certification.
Awesome. And with NMSDC, it is the same. It's a yearly review. We do maintain and absolutely reviewing your documentation to make sure that you are minority owned and operated. So very similar to Dr. Green in the fees as well.
Thank you both. Next question is about being a supplier in the construction industry. So this from says that they've worked with UC on projects before, and they generally tend to be the supplier for the general contractor or even as a subcontractor. But would they be able to work now and register to be an indirect supplier? So meaning if somebody's looking for them on the database, is that something that they should pursue? This is probably a Abib question.
You say to be a direct supplier?
They were.
Or do you say
to be
indirect?
Indirect.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, I think the person is referring to tier 2. And so tier 2 is something that we're going to start looking at in the very near future, on starting to track that information, because we really want to know what type of an impact we're having as a UC system. So for those who aren't aware, tier 2 are suppliers to the suppliers. So there are definitely opportunities for that. We're definitely encouraging our suppliers to participate in the tier 2 approach as well. But there are opportunities to, put your hat in the ring for a tier 1 opportunity as well. Like if you've already done work for UC, and as long as you can meet all the requirements and you can show that you can do the work, I strongly encourage you to take a look at trying to be the prime.
Thank you. I think we'll take this as the last question and we'll begin our closing thoughts because we may have time for 2 more questions. Let's see. So somebody or a couple of people have asked about the process in selling items in the bookstore. So maybe they have something like a cell phone case or different products that they sort of come up with, and they feel like it'd be the suitable place to sell that would be like at the student bookstore. Is going through this process sort of a way to get access to having items sold at the bookstore? Or is that like a completely different webinar that we should think about in the future?
No, definitely participate, especially one of the QR codes is which will be going to my team. If you indicate that, we can definitely try and connect you with the local bookstores. But I do strongly, for that type of work, because I deal with a lot of things on a system-wide basis, I strongly do encourage you to reach out to the individual campuses and to talk to them about what you can offer and what you can supply. But this is a good start. If you put your information in our database, I'll be sure to try and share that information with the local campuses.
Thank you. And Dr. Janice, somebody tried to scan your QR code, but they weren't successful. Can you let us know what that link is so that we can drop it into the chat box for them, please?
I think I already dropped the website into the chat box, but I can do that again if you'd like.
Is it the WBEC Pacific Org /certification?
That's the certification. I'll just drop it in.
Perfect. We will get that out again. Wonderful. I'm dropping in these one more time, and let's go ahead and start getting your closing thoughts, closing comments, knowing that we have some incredible UC alumni and UC friends. And again, just to be clear, you don't have to be a UC owned company or business. That's sort of the programming that we do is directed towards our UC alumni, but open to all of our community members. So don't feel like you need to be a UC alum in order to be able to take advantage of these great resources. These are open to, again, anybody who's with us today. It's just a matter of looking through the list and making sure that you qualify. But I will start with Donna. Donna, any closing takeaways that you want our audience to walk away with today?
I think that what the UC system is doing currently in being so intentional about including diverse-owned businesses is just such a wonderful and breath of fresh air very, specifically in the current climate that we're in. So I am so excited to be a part of to answer any and all questions. Please don't hesitate to reach out. If I can't immediately get back to you, somebody on my team will be able to get back to you. There are so many questions in the chat box that I mentioned to Myra that if there are questions that were very specific to us, I'm happy to go back and read them and get you guys some answers back so we can properly respond to these. But I wish everyone here the very, very best of luck. And if the worst somebody can tell you is no, just ask the question. I think it is absolutely worth, looking and exploring, your certification opportunities, because they're more than just certifications between WBENC and WRMSDC and even the others that ABIM has listed that are available locally in the cities that you live in the counties, in the state that, and we all have reciprocity with some others as well. So please reach out. Happy to help.
Thank you, Donna. Dr. Janice, closing thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with Donna. Really, USCC, I can't even get that out. UC Systems, they're doing a great job. I love the way that it's organized. I can tell that there's been a lot of work behind that just to design the system that you have and the openness that you're going to have for the suppliers to actually reach out. So I commend you on all the work that you did putting that together. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you, but I'm also open as well to answer any questions that you have. If you go to our website and don't see the answers there, you're welcome to contact me directly. And I think that ABIM has my contact information. So we're happy to follow up. We have a certification team that can go into more detail with the questions. And so just reach out and follow us on social media. So LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social media, Instagram. I think those are the 3 that we're on. So just follow us and keep up with us. And you are welcome to attend any of the events that we have. So keep that option open.
Thank you. And last but not least, close this out a bit. Please.
Okay. Well, I just want to close by saying we are open for business. We are here. We're here. We're open. We want to do business with you. We're open for everyone, but we also want to be more intentional about making sure that our UC alumni also have access to these opportunities as well. I'd like to send a sincere and great thank you to Dr. Green and to Donna Ruff for joining me today. Absolutely amazing, phenomenal organizations. Please tap in with them. They have a wealth of knowledge that can help and support you. I highly recommend it. But personally, I want to say thank you for joining us today and look forward to many more ventures together. Thank you.
Thank you all. And like y'all heard, we didn't have a chance to get through all the questions. Please reach out to our professionals. They are happy to support. And we will absolutely have this recording up and available for y'all to review later. We'll make sure to include links and information that was shared with you today. And then again, on behalf of UC, I want to say thank you for joining us for our Alumni Career Network. Special thank you to our 3 presenters today. We couldn't have done it without you. And I want to make sure that y'all know we're doing this again next month. Next month, though, we're going to be talking about careers in healthcare. So look out for an email coming from us letting you know that we have a great topic on healthcare paths. So thank you again for being here, and we wish you a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.